Hi, hello, good morning. This is Kishore, working as a physics lecturer in Vigyan College. So, we are learning the chapter Thermal Properties of Matter. So, in this chapter, in the last session, we have discussed about the different modes of heat transfer, that is about conduction, convection, radiation. And in this session, we will discuss what is thermal conductivity and coefficient of thermal conductivity, and what is the amount of heat energy when the rods are connected in series and also in parallel, and what is the junction temperature. So let us start the session. Let us see thermal conductivity. The ability of conduction of heat energy in solids is called as thermal conductivity. So thermal conductivity is nothing but the ability of conduction of heat energy in solids is called as thermal conductivity. So for that, let us consider a metallic bar of length L. So L is the length of the bar and the area of cross section as A. So here in the length of the bar is L, whereas the area of cross section of the bar is A. And this rod is kept in between two chambers, and the two ends are maintained at two different temperatures. So at one end the temperature is, let us consider Tc or T1, because this is the at the end C, where at the other end the temperature is Td, so this is at the end. So at one end the temperature is Tc, whereas at the other end the temperature is Td. After some time a steady state is reached, and then the temperature of the bar decreases uniformly with the distance. So after some time a steady state is reached, so where the temperature of the bar decreases uniformly with distance. So let us see once again, the ability of conduction of heat in solids is called as thermal conductivity. And now we are going to see the expression for the coefficient of thermal conductivity. So for that we are considering a metallic bar of length L and area of cross section A, and the two ends of the bar are maintained at two different temperatures. So at one end the temperature, let us consider Tc, whereas at the other end the temperature is Td. And after a steady state is reached, the temperature of the bar is decreases uniformly with the distance. So now we will deal with the expression for the coefficient of thermal conductivity. So it is found that the rate of flow of heat energy, that is H, so it is nothing but here the rate of flow of heat energy, that is the heat energy flowing per second, is directly proportional to temperature difference between the two ends, that is Tc minus Td. So the rate of flow of heat energy is directly proportional to temperature difference between the two ends, and this rate of flow of heat energy is also inversely proportional to length of the conductor, and this rate of flow of heat energy is proportional to area of cross section of the conductor. So it is found that the rate of flow of heat energy is proportional to temperature difference between the two ends, and the rate of flow of heat energy is inversely proportional to length of the conductor, and the rate of flow of heat energy is proportional to area of cross section of the bar. Now by combining these two, we get H is proportional to Tc minus Td to A by L. So the rate of flow of heat energy is proportional to Tc minus Td into A by L. And if we remove the proportionality, we have to introduce a constant. So let us H is equal to some constant Ka Tc minus Td by L. So this is the formula for rate of flow of heat energy, where K is a constant called as the coefficient of thermal conductivity, and this is the rate of flow of heat energy, and the heat energy flowing in T seconds is given as H is equal to Ka Tc minus Td into T by L. So this is the formula for heat energy flowing in the time T seconds, and this is the formula for rate of flow of heat energy, that is heat energy flowing per second, and this is the equation for the amount of heat energy flowing in T seconds. H is equal to Ka Tc minus Td into T by L. So here the constant K is called coefficient of thermal conductivity. The constant K is called as the coefficient of thermal conductivity. So in this equation, the constant K is coefficient of thermal conductivity. So K is nothing but coefficient of thermal conductivity. And this equation we can get the equation for K as, so we get the heat energy as H is equal to Ka Tc minus Td T by L. From this, K is get as K is equal to HL by A into Tc minus Td into T. And this can be written as K is equal to H by A into Tc minus Td by L into T. So this is expression for coefficient of thermal conductivity. So K is equal to H by A into Tc minus Td by L into T. So here Tc minus Td by L is called as the temperature gradient. So Tc minus Td by L is called as the temperature gradient. That is nothing but the change in temperature acting for unit displacement or unit length. The change in temperature acting for unit displacement is called as the temperature gradient. And if you take this temperature gradient as 1 unit and the time as 1 unit and area is also 1 unit, then this K becomes equal to H. So let us see the definition for the coefficient of thermal conductivity. So the coefficient of thermal conductivity becomes equal to the amount of heat energy where the temperature gradient is 1 unit and the time is 1 unit, that is per second, and the area is also 1 unit. So it is defined as, the coefficient of thermal conductivity is defined as the amount of heat energy flowing per second per unit area per unit temperature gradient between its layers. So K is defined as, the coefficient of thermal conductivity is defined as the amount of heat energy flowing per second per unit area per unit temperature gradient between its layers. That is the definition of K. It is defined as the amount of heat energy flowing per second per unit area per unit temperature gradient between its layers. Now this K value depends upon the nature of the material but not on the dimensions of the body. The value of K depends on the nature of the material but not on the dimensions of the body. And now we can write the units as well as the dimension formula for K. So this is the formula for K, H by A temperature gradient into T, and the unit for heat energy is nothing but the CGS unit for heat energy is, for H it is calorie and the MKS unit is joule. So the MKS unit of heat energy is joule, whereas the CGS unit of heat energy is calorie. And for area it is centimeter square and in MKS it is meter square. And for temperature it is degree centigrade in Kelvin, and for length it is centimeter or meter, and for time it is second. Now we can write the units for K as, so the CGS unit is, so for heat energy it is calorie divided by, for area it is centimeter square, for temperature it is degree centigrade, and for length it is centimeter, and for time it is second. So centimeter get cancelled, so we get calorie per centimeter degree centigrade second. And similarly the MKS unit is, so the MKS unit is, instead of calorie you get joule, so joule per second meter Kelvin. and this joule per second is also written as watt, which is power, so watt per meter Kelvin. So this is a MK's need for coefficient of thermal conductivity. And we can write the dimension formula, and we know the dimension formula for heat energy as, that is the work done as, it is nothing but work done, which is nothing but m power 1 L power 2 T power minus 2, and for length it is L, and for area it is L square, and for temperature it is T, and for time it is T, and for temperature it is K. So by simplifying this, we get this is as m power 1, so L power 2 get cancelled, so it L power 0, and it is T power minus 3. So L power 2 get cancelled, but there is a L here, so we get this as L, T power minus 3 and K power minus 1. So the dimension formula for work done is m power 1 L power 2 T power minus 2, and for length it is L, and for area it is L power 2, for time it is T, and for temperature it is K. By simplifying this, we get m power 1 L power 1 and T power minus 3 K power minus 1. So the dimension formula is m power 1 So the dimension formula is m power 1 L power 1 T power minus 3 and K power minus 1. So this is the dimension formula for So the dimension formula for coefficient of thermal conductivity is, it is m power 1 and L power 1 and T power minus 3 and K power minus 1. So this is the dimension formula for coefficient of thermal conductivity. Now let's see what is thermal resistance. Resistance is nothing but, from Ohm's law you can say V is equal to IR, where R is the resistance, V is the potential difference, I is the current. So R is nothing but V by I. So V is equal to IR, from the expression V is equal to IR, R becomes equal to V by I. That is opposition to the flow of current is called as resistance. Similarly here, thermal resistance is nothing but the opposition to the flow of heat energy is called as thermal resistance. Thermal resistance is nothing but the opposition to the flow of heat energy. And the value of thermal resistance depends on the nature of the material and also on the dimensions of the body. The value of thermal resistance depends on nature of the material and also on the dimensions of the body. So RTH is equal to TC minus TD by H by T. This is the expression for thermal resistance. RTH is equal to TC minus TD by H by T. But we know H is equal to Ka TC minus TD into T by L. From this, HL is equal to Ka TC minus TD into T, and we want TC minus TD by H by T. So TC minus TD by H is equal to, so we are taking H to that side, then it becomes L by Ka into T, and if it bring T is also that side, then TC minus TD by H by T which is nothing but RTH. So this is equal to L by Ka. So this is the formula for thermal resistance. RTH is equal to Tc minus Td by H by T. That is nothing but opposition to the flow of heat energy, which is nothing but L by Ka. So here L is the length of the bar and K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity and A is the area of cross section of the bar. And now we will write the units and dimension formula for thermal resistance. And we already know the units for K as the CJ's unit for K, the CJ's unit is calorie per centimeter second degree centigrade, whereas the MK's unit is joule per meter second degree Kelvin. And we will write the units for RTH. So for RTH it is nothing but L by Ka, and for L it is, so for RTH the CGS unit is, so for L it is centimeter divided by, for K it is calorie, so this come to the numerator, so centimeter second and degree centigrade, and for area it is centimeter square. So centimeter square will get cancelled, so you get the unit as second degree centigrade per calorie, whereas the MK's unit is second, the temperature is Kelvin per joule. This is MK's unit for thermal resistance. And we also write the dimension formula. So the dimension formula is for second it is T, and for temperature it is K, whereas for heat energy it is m power 1 L power 2 T power minus 2. So it becomes m power minus 1 L power minus 2 T power plus 2, and it is plus 1, so T power 3 and K power 1. So this is the dimension formula for thermal resistance. So the dimension formula is m power minus 1 L power minus 2 T power 3 and K power 1. So this is about thermal resistance. So thermal resistance is nothing but the opposition to the flow of heat energy, and it depends upon the nature of the material and also on the dimensions of the body. And the RTH, thermal resistance, is given by L by Ka, whereas the CJ's unit is second degree centigrade per calorie and MK's unit is second Kelvin per joule. The dimension formula is m power minus 1 L power minus 2 T power 3 and K power 1 is the dimension formula for thermal resistance. Now let us see the expression for the junction temperature. So to find the expression for the junction temperature, so we are considering two slabs. So for first slab the thermal conductivity is K1, the coefficient thermal conductivity is K1, whereas L1 is the length of the first conductor, L2 is the length of the second conductor, and K2 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity of the second conductor. So here K1 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity for the first slab, K2 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity for the second slab, and L1 is the length of the first slab, L2 is the length of the second slab, and the two slabs are connected in series. So at the junction, let us consider the temperature is T0. So T0 is the junction temperature, and T1 is the temperature at one end, and T2 is the temperature at the other end. So let us consider the area of cross section of these two rod slabs is same, let it be A. Now we are going to derive the expression for junction temperature, and we know the expression for the amount of heat energy flowing in T seconds is nothing but H is equal to Ka T1 minus T2 into T by L. So this is the expression for the amount of heat energy flowing in the time T seconds. Now apply this equation for the first rod. So then it becomes H is equal to, so for the first conductor the thermal conductivity is K1 and the area is A, whereas the temperature difference is T1 minus T0 into T by length is L1. So let us consider this as equation 1 and apply the same equation for the second conductor. So H is the heat energy flowing in time t seconds, K2 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity for the second slab, A is the area, and temperature difference is T0 minus T2 into T by L2. Let us think this is as equation 2. So we know in series connection the heat energy flowing in the two conductors is same, so both are H. So apply these two as equal, K1 into A into T1 minus T0 into T by L1 is equal to K2A T0 minus T2 into T by L2. So A get cancelled and T also get cancelled. Now cross multiplying you get K1 L2 T1 minus T0 is equal to K2 L1 T0 minus T2. Now expand this, so multiply, then we get K1 L2 T1 minus K1 L2 T0 is equal to K2 L1 T0 minus K2 L1 T2. And bring the T0 terms to the other side, then we get, so this to the other side, then it becomes K1 L2 T0 plus K2 L1 T0 is equal to K1 L2 T1 plus K2 L1 T2 and take T0 common here, then we get T0 into K1 L2 plus K2 L1 is equal to K1 L2 T1 plus K2 L1 T2. So in this expression, let us have to find the junction temperature T0. So bring this term to the other side, then we get the junction temperature as T0 is equal to K1 L2 T1 plus K2 L1 T2 divided by K1 L2 plus K2 L1. So this is expression for the junction temperature. So the junction temperature is given by T0 is equal to K1 L2 T1 plus K2 L1 T2 by K1 L2 plus K2 L1. So this is expression for junction temperature. Now let us see the slabs in series. So let us consider two slabs. For the first slab, let us consider K1 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity and L1 is the length of the first slab. And for the second slab, K2 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity, L2 is the length of the second slab. And the two slabs are kept in series. So at the junction, let us consider T0 is the temperature. So T0 is the junction temperature. And at one end, T1 is the temperature, whereas at the other end, let us consider T2 is the temperature. And A is the area of this slab, cross section of this slab. So here we are considering two slabs and the two slabs are connected in series. So whenever the two slabs are connected in series, then the amount of heat energy flowing in the two slabs is same. So H is same, as well as the coefficient of thermal conductivity R is nothing but R1 plus R2. Whenever two slabs are connected in series, then the amount of heat energy is flowing in two conductors is same, and the effective thermal resistance R is equal to R1 plus R2. And we know H is equal to Ka T1 minus T2 into T by L. Now apply this expression for the first conductor. It becomes H is equal to K1 A T1 minus T0 into T by L1. Now cross multiply, we get HL1 is equal to K1A T1 minus T0 into T. From this we get T1 minus T0 as HL1 divided by K1A into T. Let us consider this as equation 1. Now apply this expression for the second conductor. Then we get H is equal to K2A T0 minus T2 into T by L2. Once again cross multiplication we get HL2 is equal to K2A T0 minus T2 into T. From this T0 minus T2 is equal to HL2 divided by K2AT. Let us consider that as equation 2. Now we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. So add equation 1 and 2. So 1 plus 2, then we get, so T1 minus T0 plus T0 minus T2. So T0 get cancelled. So you get T1 minus T2 is equal to HL1 by K1AT plus HL2 by K2AT. Now in this we can take H by AT as common, H by AT as common, then we get this as, so H by T will get L1 by K1 plus L2 by K2. This is the expression for T1 minus T2. So from this we have to find the amount of heat energy flowing in the conductor when two are connected in series. So H we get as, so T1 minus T2 into AT divided by L1 by K1 plus L2 by K2. So this is the expression for the amount of heat energy flowing when the two slabs are connected in series. Now we will apply this equation. So we know R is given by R is equal to L by Ka. So R is nothing but L1 plus L2 by Ka is equal to L1 by K1A or A1 plus L2 by K2A2. So if A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, so A get cancelled, then we get L1 by L2, L1 plus L2 by K is equal to L1 by K1 plus L2 by K2. Then we get K as, so K is equal to L1 plus L2 divided by L1 by K1 plus L2 by K2. This is the effective thermal conductivity when the area of the two conductors are same. And if you take L1 is equal to L2 is equal to L, if you take L1 is equal to L2 is equal to L, then we get Kf as, so L1 plus L2 it becomes L plus L, so 2L by L by K1 plus L by K2. So by cancelling L we get K effective as is equal to 2 K1 K2 by K1 plus K2 by taking the LCM. So this is the effective thermal conductivity when the two rods are connected in series provided length are equal and the area of cross section also equal. So this is the case when slabs are connected in series. So whenever the slabs are connected in series, then heat energy flowing is same and the R effective thermal resistance is nothing but R1 plus R2. Then we get the effective thermal conductivity as effective thermal conductivity as K is equal to 2 K1 K2 by K1 plus K2 when the length and ds are same. Now let us see when the slabs are connected in parallel. So what is the amount of heat energy flowing when the slabs are connected in parallel and what is the effective thermal conductivity when the slabs are connected in parallel. So we are considering here two slabs. For the first slab, the coefficient of thermal conductivity is K1 and A1 is the area of cross section of the first slab. And for the second slab, K2 is the coefficient of thermal conductivity and A2 is the area of cross section of the slab. Now these two conductors are parallel. So at one end, let us consider T1 is the temperature, whereas at the other end, T2 is the temperature. So we are considering two slabs and the two slabs are connected in parallel. So whenever the two slabs are connected in parallel, then the amount of heat energy is nothing but H is equal to H1 plus H2 and 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So whenever the slabs are connected in parallel, then the amount of heat energy flowing, H is nothing but H1 plus H2, and the effective resistance 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. And we know H is equal to, here H is given by Ka T1 minus T2 into T by L. Now apply this for the slabs, then we get H is equal to, so K1 A1 and T1 minus T2 into T by, so length is same for the two slabs, so it is L. This is H1. And for the second slab, we get H2 as K2 A2 T1 minus T2 into T by L. And we know H is nothing but H1 plus H2, so we get H as H1 plus H2, so K1 A1 T1 minus T2 into T by L plus K2 A2 into T1 minus T2 into T by L. So from this you can take T1 minus T2 into T by L as common, so T1 minus T2 into T by L as common, then we get, so K1 A1 plus K2 A2. So this is the amount of heat energy flowing when the two rods are connected in parallel. So this is the expression for the amount of heat energy flowing when the two rods are connected in parallel. Now let us find the effective thermal conductivity when the rods are connected in parallel. So we know R is given by R is equal to L by Ka. So applying this we get, so 1 by R becomes equal to Ka by L. Now applying this equation, then we get K into A is nothing but A1 plus A2 divided by L is equal to K1 A1 by L1 plus K2 A2 by L, because length is same. So L get cancelled. So then we get K as K is equal to K1 A1 plus K2 A2 by A1 plus A2. This is the expression for the effective thermal conductivity when the two slabs are connected in parallel. So this is the expression for the effective thermal conductivity when the two rods are connected in parallel. So K is equal to K1 A1 plus K2 A2 by A1 plus A2. So student, in this session we learn about thermal conductivity and what is coefficient of thermal conductivity, and also we know the junction temperature, and we derive the expression for the amount of heat energy and also the effective resistance when the rods are connected in series and in parallel. So that's all for this session. We will meet in the next session. Until then, have a great day. Thank you.